course, the two races that we've got tonight, and we're going to be looking at the first grid now. So let's have a look at how they qualified for race 1. Starting grid then for the first round, as you can see, Sam Fowler starting on pole position with Daniel Fletcher in second place. Incredibly close with the times there, barely anything between them. Alan Dove in third place with Daniel Amore in fourth. Then it's Liam Morley in fifth place, Jack Dex in sixth. Steve Calvert. He's, I think, misspelled his name there. But Steve Calvert in seventh place. Max Tad in eighth place. 96.8154 for him. Ocean Sharkey in ninth place. Then it's Tom Rushforth, I should say, in 10th place. Then Matthew Tipping in 11th. Jonathan Bell in 12th place. Dean Hale in 13th place. Jack Bird in 14th. Gary Clark in 15th place. And Andy Dean, BSK, in 16th place. We are right, so I think it is 18 drivers, yes. So Andy Connell in 17th place, Chris Kelly in 18th, but it did not qualify as well, as another did not qualify there. So looks like we've got 17 taking to the track, and I believe they're out now for their warm-up lap. So these are the karts, and as you can see, tiny things compared to the circuit.
So we're on the rolling lap now. I believe they'll form up, warming their tyres, and we'll be good to go after this lap. I have to tell you before we start, DJ, that Steve Calvert is actually Northern. So Steve is his
it's Northern, is
name.
it? Well,
right,
I do apologise. There's me, without my knowledge or anything like that. I thought he'd just misspelled his name. So there you go, Steve. It is Steve.
Very experienced TKM racer is Steve.
Okay.
I heard of him back in 2004, I think. He used to race up in Three Sisters. So we've got a lot of real-life drivers competing.
Excellent. Yeah, lots of real-life drivers in this one as well, within the Superkart class and more other karting classes as well. So great to see these guys coming over from the real world to the virtual side of it. It is great to see. So as you can see, the karts all making their way around the circuit. We're about halfway around the track now. Again, a very long circuit, very bumpy. You can see these karts. They do look so small compared to the actual track, don't they? But again, look at them compared to the size of the safety car. You know, that Corvette safety car, they look absolutely dwarfed by it.
So I wonder the fact that they're 1/3 the size of a car, in effect, and I don't know if I'm right here, but surely that means the track is 3 times the width in comparison. Surely a lot of these corners where they'd have to brake in a wide car are flat out.
I mean, well, in a way, but you have to remember that, you know, they're still going those same speeds. So yes, they could potentially maybe get around a corner faster, but then they've got the limitations of the tyres. The tyres can only do so much. But yeah, that's what it is. But round the final corner then.
Here we go. So
we're going to get this race 1 underway. We are indeed. Safety car's going to pull over to the side. It almost gets collected by the rest of the field.
And Alan Duff's in the wall. Alan Duff's in the wall.
All the way.
Oh no, the race organiser immediately.
Do you think that was planned? I think it was.
I think so. Jack Dex is down in 16th, so I don't know if they'd have a bit of a tangle.
Potentially so, yeah. Jack Dex all the way down. Apparently he's in the pits as well. So I think, yeah, nothing going well for Jack Dex. There's another car off into the gravel as well. But back with your leader, Daniel Fletcher, leading the way from Sam Fowler, just half a second behind him. So he's already pulled half a second gap between him. 15 minutes left on that clock as we go through this very fast corner. Now, this is fifth gear in a real car. What do they do in this? It looked like they were going for fifth gear there as well. So fifth gear around this fast sweeping one here as we look further down the field. This is Matthew Tipping we're looking at here in sixth place. He's got Dean Hale just behind him as they battle their way through this circuit. These guys some 4 seconds down from the race leaders already after one lap, but huge drama at the start there with Alan Dove and Jack Dex getting collected.
I think the aerodynamic effect could have such a big impact on these. Down the straights, I think we'll see the hole that they cut in the air, because I don't think they're particularly aerodynamic. They've not got a lot of power when they're doing 140 miles an hour. I think if you're anywhere near the driver in front, you're going to be sucked up to them and hopefully have a lunge down into turn 1.
I suspect that is the only way you are going to do it. I mean, that gap at the front as well, Daniel Fletcher has managed to pull open a second gap now, and you can see it there visibly, that Daniel Fletcher moving away. Now, Max Tad, he is the man on a charge here. He's just about, looks like 0.4 of a second behind Sam Fowler now for second place. And look at that, so much later on the brakes, outbrakes himself, slightly loses the back end. And that is not how you do that into turn one. Luckily, James Bird in 4th place is not close enough to warrant anything worrying about now, and he's going to recharge that car, get back up there, and try and close that gap back to Sam Fowler and have another attempt at that. But as you can imagine, if that was real life and you'd outbrake yourself like that, that'd been terrifying.
So DJ, Max Tad came from 8th on the grid. So what a stellar start he's had. I don't know how he managed to do that, but he's made 5 places immediately. Obviously, 2 people took themselves off, but somehow he's carved through the grid there.
Well, we've got 3 people actually in the pit lane as well. So I think there's been... Oh, and there's a car off in the background there. I'm not sure who that was. I think that was someone around 10th or 11th place, I think. So someone off earlier on in the gravel. But this is a cracking little scrap that we're seeing here. I think this is 6th, 7th and 8th that we're seeing here. Liam Morley in the middle of this in 6th place.
We've got Matthew tipping behind. He's well known for having Magura brakes, which are very powerful. And there we go. He's used his Magura brakes to great effect there. And slightly overrun it. I thought he'd pulled it off, DJ. I thought that was it.
Do you know what? I have to give it to him. That was a great little lunge. I thought he was actually going into the back of him there for a moment, but nothing seemed to happen. So he managed to just pull that car out the way and managed to get around that one. It was a great effort. Here's Jack Bird, 5th place. He is some 6 seconds away from the race leader. Fastest man on the circuit is Daniel Fletcher. Sector times are looking pretty good from him. As they cross the line, Daniel Fletcher sets that new fastest lap, 42.416 from him. So he's absolutely flying around this circuit as these two still scrap around. Jack Bird versus Liam Corley, and there's a mistake from Jack Bird, as you were saying, those curbs playing havoc with the drivers, and that allowed Jack Bird to get right round the outside of Liam Morley there. What a move.
It looks to me that these karts are very skittish. They've got so much grip that if you go into a corner a bit too fast, it gets a bit of a wong on. I don't know if you know that term, DJ, but when you get a bit of you've got a bit too much grip and the kart starts to flex and bounce around, and then it just throws you off. So you don't slide in the same way as a car. It digs in and bounces you around. It's quite unpleasant in real life, and I'm sure some of the rigs that these drivers have with high force feedback. Oh, wow, look at this. So
yep, Matthew Tipping battling hard with Jack Bird. Yep, round the about sector 3 that we are now. But a cracking move from him, and it looks like Jack Bird managed to get right round the outside again in that 24 into the heavy braking zone here. Again, around a second gear corner for this one, but these guys getting around it without any issues. Those curbs on the inside, they're definitely something you want to avoid in this.
Oh, tipping's off.
Who is that that's gone off?
Is that
Liam? Liam Morley?
Yep, Liam.
I think it is. He is going down the order. 9th place, Liam Morley from 5th place. And that is a huge disaster. You can see him there really slow, and I'm not sure if damage is actually on the session. So if he has picked up some damage, that's going to be an absolute disaster for him. Back here with the leader, though, Daniel Fletcher, and that gap has slightly come down now. It is just less than a second between Daniel and Sam. And let's just see what happens as they go through. Less than 10 minutes remain then of this race. And it's still all to play for, of course. The second race, stick around for that one because it's going to be a reverse grid. You think in the actual qualifying order they couldn't do a race start, goodness knows what's going to happen in a reverse grid.
Well, at least you'll get Alan and Jack starting at the front, and I think they'll have an entertaining battle. But it is funny to see Daniel Fletcher races KZ karts in Woodthorpe, so very similar to these, and I'd say that he's in the money seats at the moment. And you can see there what I mean about how it starts to skip. You see you've got a bit of a slide on, it dug in, and then it started bouncing. Now I have to talk with you a bit about tyres, because we heard earlier that there are 2 compounds of tyres that you can use, one soft and one hard. And the soft is very fast, but then completely goes off after 8 laps. So I wonder if someone has decided to put the softs on and just try and defend like hell for 2 laps.
Well, maybe, that could be. I mean, the fact that, these 2 at the front are some 5 seconds clear from the guys in 3rd place, I feel this is maybe what they've done. We did hear that, they chew themselves up in about 5 laps and then they're gone in 8. And that's why we thought most of the drivers would go for those mediums. But, maybe these guys have gone for those softs because they are flying around this circuit at the moment.
That would be something that I would test if I was racing in this championship. I'd do 2 10-lap runs and see which was quicker, hards or softs. And maybe these guys have used their experience and done that. Oh, close battle here between Daniel Armour and Max Tad.
Yes, it's the battle for third place. Yep, final spot on the rostrum here, and it looks like that is a position move as they keep going through. On board now with Max Tad in fourth place with the 43 of Daniel Armour in front, and so close between these two through this fast corner. You can see there how he broke away through that fast corner, meaning that the dirty air caused by these karts caused so much havoc going around those faster corners that if he did stay where he was, he'd probably have just slided straight off the circuit, which is not ideal because apparently these karts take a while to get out of the gravel traps.
It looks like they did. People just pitted instead. I've actually just heard from Alan a bit of a post-race interview, and I can't really repeat what he said, DJ. I'm not sure if there are any children watching, but since it's before 9 o'clock, I'm not going to repeat that. So sorry, Alan, you need to clean your mouth out with soap and water.
I have just seen Alan's message as well. We won't repeat that. That is not ideal for a stream. We'll leave that one with him. Back with the battle at the lead. It has opened up a little bit more as well. It seems to be not closing and not disappearing, really, is it? It's staying at a stable 1 second between Daniel Fletcher and Sam Fowler, isn't it?
That's right. I'm just looking for facts about Sam Fowler.
What can you find?
Okay, here we go.
If you can't find any, you can make one up.
Sam Fowler's claim to fame is that he once saw Lindsay Lohan smoking in a London pub.
Well, that's an achievement.
That is an achievement, yeah. What do we have for Daniel Fletcher? Nothing for Daniel Fletcher.
Nothing? You can make something up. Go for it. What are you going to go with?
Problem is, I've already told the viewers that there's nothing there. So we'll have to find someone else to... yes. But Daniel does race KZ at Woodthorpe. So...
Oh, well, there you go. That's some
impressive
experience.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go. Little further down the order. The driver all on their own here in the 41 kart. I believe this is Tom Rushforth, I think we're looking at here. Doing a sterling job in 7th place. He's neither got anyone to battle with in front of him nor behind him, so he's cracking on. We've had a lot of retirements, I can see. It looks like there's quite a few people in the pit lane. Now, in terms of fuel usage, there's it is straight from flag to flag. There's no need to pit for any tyres or fuel, so it should just be on your way. But it looks like we've had some 8 people retire out of this race. So back at the front, less than 1 second between our two leaders, Daniel Fletcher and Sam Fowler again. He has closed that gap in with the final 5 minutes to go. As you can see, he's going through this very complex section of the circuit after turn 1. And then through here, it's the uphill struggle into the very fast section. Now, I know that this is pretty much flat out in any car that you go around, and I'm sure it's the same in this one. Absolutely pinned through there. As you can see, 130 odd mile an hour there, up into 6th gear again over that reach. And that is a huge wobble on that car. It may not look lots from our position from the camera, but I'm sure from the driving seat that was a petrifying moment for them as they go over that leap. Now, on lap 7, it looks like we're possibly going to get around 10 laps in within the time. We'll have to see how that is, but less than 5 minutes to go on the clock, and it is still all to play for at this front battle. 0.8 of a second now between these two, as Daniel Fletcher still leading the way, holding off from Sam Fowler. Did you manage to find any more facts about Sam Fowler, Will?
So Sam Fowler actually has an incredible superstition that he has to wear the same underwear in every single one of his races. So I don't know how long he's been racing for. Yeah.
So if he's away on a race weekend, what's and there's multiple stages on multiple days.
Oh. Yeah, he must have to wash it in between heat. You refuel the car, you wash your underwear. I'm sure that's what he does. But it seems to be working for him because the gap is down, fluctuating between 1 second and 7/10. So I wonder if he's just backed off a bit, cooling his tyres, biding his time, and he'll launch an attack in the last lap or two. Or maybe Daniel Fletcher has it completely under control. But to me,
maybe so.
I think he's closing in 7/10 now.
Yep, so maybe Daniel was the driver who did go for those soft compound. Sam Fowler managed to keep the same pace and stick roughly behind. And is now, if he's on the harder set of tyres, has managed to now close and reel him in. So let's just see what happens on these last couple of laps. Just over 3 minutes left on the clock. Like you say, yeah, 7/10 of a second, 6/10 of a second now under braking there. A little wide onto the corner, slightly missed the apex, but still wresting that car around. You can see the speeds that these cars do.
When he gets within half a second, I think he's going to use the draft to a great effect. We're down to 6/10 now. So this could be a very exciting finish.
It could be. It's all down to the wire between these two. The first race of the championship, of course. And we're getting a great battle from these two at the front. Daniel Fletcher and Sam Fowler showing us how to do it. The rest of the field is nowhere to be seen at the time being. 7 seconds separates these two from third place of Daniel Amore. So we'll just have to see if they can try and close it up. Of course, anything can happen between these two. We're not sure with just over 2 minutes left on the clock. Yep.
4/10. Yep, that's it. He's in the slipstream. Look at this, coming right down.
Yep, he's reeling him in now, under braking. Not this time. Is he going to run out wide? It looks like Daniel Fletcher. Yep, made the mistake there, and now it's side by side as we go through the section. Can't quite do it here. This is a dangerous part of the circuit to overtake, especially in karts that are so skittish like this on these bumps. Now you can see as they now climb the hill. Now this is where the slipstream is going to pay into effect. Now he's going to tuck right in there. As you can see, right up behind, there's nothing between these two now as they go through at 130 miles an hour. Fifth gear over those bumps, as you can see, and then over the crest here. Really bumpy here as well as they slide down through this fifth gear corner. Super close between these two, Will.
Sam has definitely taken his time. He's going to launch his attack, try and get a good slipstream down across the start-finish line, I think, although he seems to have lost a bit of time there. I don't know what happened, but he lost a lot on the entry.
It is a fast corner, that one. It looked like he'd slowed down a little bit too much, but he's managed to close that gap back up again. Still right behind him, still got that slipstream. He wasn't close last time, but now, this time around, as we're 1/10 of a second heading towards the start-finish line, it could all happen. It could happen here, under braking. Sam Fowler down the inside, can't make it done. Great defensive driving from... Yeah, great defensive driving from Daniel Fletcher, holding him off there, holding it round the outside, keeping Sam Fowler at bay. That was attempt number 1. Now Daniel knows he's there. He's going to be worried. He's going to be looking over his shoulder to see if he's going to try it again. And he'll probably hear the kart itself behind him. He'll hear that whirring engine behind him. And he's going to be all sorts of worried. Now here we go, onto the start-finish line, side by side. It was still Daniel Fletcher who crossed the line first there. This is the last lap. There's 30 seconds left of the clock. We're not going to get another lap. And there's the overtake. Sam Fowler down the inside of turn 1. Beautiful move. Daniel Fletcher, nothing to do in terms of a response to that one. Are we going to see a retaliation on this lap? I think so, Will.
I'm not sure. I'd really hope so, but I think Daniel Fletcher's, he's probably took too much out of his tyres early on. Then again, the slipstream seems to be so strong. When you're within about 0.3 of a second, you can really draft up to the back of them. And for sure, Daniel Fletcher will be wanting to retain his lead, considering that he's led the whole race up to now. So I think it will be a bit of a do-or-die move.
Well, we know Daniel Fletcher is quick around this circuit as he's led most of this race. It's just this final lap there he has lost the lead, but he is still close. Less than 0.3 of a second between the two. He is still in slipstream rage, and this is where the first attempt of an overtake happened. Now you can see Daniel holding a tighter line on the entry there. Suffers slightly on exit, so Sam going for that later apex to get on that power early. Now into this braking zone here. Second gear, is it going to be a lunge under braking? No, he thinks against it, stays behind, and it's just the final straight now he's got as an attempt to try and take this race win. But Sam Fowler leading the way still by 0.3 of a second as we enter the final couple of corners. It's round this final flat out corner now. You definitely can't overtake round this one. And on to the start-finish straight. Is there anything in the tank for Daniel Fletcher? I don't think so. Sam Fowler's going to cross the line to take the first race win of the Karting1 Superkarts Championship. And a massive well done to him and Daniel Fletcher. That was an epic race, Will.
That was brilliant. Really well timed. Really very considered from Sam. He launched his attack when he knew he had a chance of getting by. He could have gone in and lunged a lap or two earlier, but I think that just wouldn't have... Oh, what's going on here? What an absolute bandit. Who's that? Number 66.
I think it was the 65. Oh no, no, I think you're right with the 66 there. I think that was Stephen Calvert there. I think who was just being lapped and trying to show his support to the leaders there. I think is what you're doing. On board then here with your race winner, Sam Fowler. And I'm sure he's very pleased with that as he comes to a stop and shoves it back in the garage. Well, what a first great race from that one. An interesting start to that race, a huge crash with several drivers wiping each other out, and I'm not sure that's the way they want to do it next time around. Up for you in just a moment, and I think we've got it here. There we go, round 2. Liam Morley then starting on pole position with Steve Calvert in second place. Oisin Sharkey in third place, Jack Bird in fourth. So there you go, that's where Jack Bird is, fourth place, and that's a good advantage for him to keep his hands on it. Tom Rushforth in fifth place, Matthew Tipping in sixth, Max Tad in seventh place, Daniel Amore in eighth. And then we'll move on to the rest of the field. Daniel Fletcher starting in 9th, Sam Fowler starting in 10th. And of course, that was your race winner from last time. And then the rest of the grid are all DNF. So Dean Hale in 11th place, Gary Clark in 12th, Tony Moore in 13th. And then it's Andy Dean in 14th, Alan Dove in 15th place, Jack Dex in 16th place. Jonathan Bell in 17th, and then Andy Connell in 18th place. 18 drivers then, again, taking to the track on this one, and hopefully a bit of a cleaner start, Will.
I hope so. I think we're going to have Alan and Jack coming through from the back of the field, so they'll really be ones to keep an eye on. Of course, we've got the two leaders, the two winners of the last race. I think it will be very interesting to see how they... There's an added element, isn't there? Because they have to manage their tyres. Oh, we've got someone over at the back.
I'm not sure what happened there, but it looked like a wheel popped off as well.
Oh, where are they going?
I mean, how do you crash stationary before the race has even started and lose a wheel? Now, there's a new one. That's a new one. That's, yeah, that's... I'm not sure what even happened.
And I don't know who was in 14th place. I think that's whoever's in front of Jack Dex, actually. Who have we lost there?
I think, do you know what? I think that's Alan Dove.
Alan was in a... Oh, there we go. It's fixed. I don't know what's happened there.
I think he's fixed it. Yeah, I think at that point, before the timer actually stops, I think you can exit out and you can come back in and completely get a brand new car. So that's okay. Fine. I think he's managed to fix it, and hopefully we get 18 karts actually start this time around, which will be good to see. But starting their flying or warming up lap, it shouldn't take too much to warm these tyres up, I wouldn't have thought.
No, I can't imagine what with the speeds. There's a lot of energy going through them. I think you'd want to be careful that you wear them too much on the outlap if they only last 10, 12 laps in a good condition. I don't think you'd want to be throwing it too much side to side. But as I was saying, it's going to be an added interesting dimension how the two leaders come through the field. It's going to be a lot more about racecraft, looking after your tyres. Someone's gone on the grass. That's not ideal to warm your tyres. I don't know who that was.
I couldn't see who that was either. I didn't even see anyone get onto the grass there. But there you go. As I think this is someone trying to catch up to the back of the field. It seems to be a few corners further away as we're back here at the front with third place. As we go through, safety car making its way around. And we're going to get this race underway. You can see there a couple of the cars just moving around a bit. I think that's a little bit of lag from one of the servers, so hopefully that clears up when the race gets underway. But yeah, that's definitely not ideal in the sim racing world. That seems to be the biggest danger in sim racing is people's ping levels going around the track. As we've got someone starting from the pit lane, as it looks. I'm not sure who that was.
So Matthew Tipping starting from the pits. I hope he can make it round in time because he's always an interesting driver to watch.
Well, obviously, yeah, starting from the pit lane, these guys are going to be coming around the final corner now as a few of them float off onto the gravel there. Yeah, these guys need to get, I think, a wired internet connection this time around instead of a wireless one. Here we go, and safety car pulls in. Is it going to be carnage again? It doesn't look like it. It looks like everyone breaks away. 4 wide, nearly 5 wide here in towards turn 1. This is going to be carnage.
This isn't going to end well. This is not going to end well.
This isn't going to end well.
I can put my money on
that. As they go through. Do you know what, actually? That went better than I thought it would. We've still got nearly all the karts we're going through. Side by side for second place.
So Daniel we've got
Fletcher,
Jack and
Liam
Alan.
Morley.
Jack and Alan up to 8th and 9th already. Max Tad has taken the lead. Jack Bird has dropped a place, so his sim is looking less and less, or more likely to come onto the market.
Steve
exactly.
Calvert I'm in the market for a new simulator. So.
Yep. So you won't be commentating on the next one, DJ. Jack
no, I'll be
join
racing
me.
in it.
Yep. Steve Calvert has lost 4-5 places now, so I think he must be struggling with something. Alan Dove up to 7th, so good performance from him.
Yeah, great to see Alan now actually in this race. He had a disaster last time around as we ride on board with him. As he goes through, switching to the inside, that 24 blocking the way, making it not easy for Alan to get past. That is actually Jack Bird now in 6th place. That's another position he's lost, so that's him getting ever further away from him. And he's under pressure from Alan Dove, and you say that. Jack Bird with a great lunge there. He's fighting through. Oh, and a car hits those curves. Then you don't want to hit them. And that's what happens. Absolutely jettisoned off into the sky. And I think that's going to be game over for, I believe, that may have been Tony Moore there, as he's the only one in the pits, or it could have been Tom Rushforth, actually, as that's another driver who's just suddenly gone to the bottom of the list, 1 minute 30 down. But back at the front here, this is 2nd place and 3rd. Train of 4 karts that we've got here, and a lunge for the lead and a slight lock up there under braking. 3rd place running slightly wide, so Max Tad putting that pressure on as we ride on board with 4th place. Sam Fowler with Max Tad just ahead with all this battling going on, and it looks like Liam Morley actually just took the lead there. I
didn't see that happen.
Already in the lead.
He must have lunged up the inside because it said Daniel Fletcher was leading. Made 8 places in a lap. I didn't see Liam Morley go past there.
Well, there is the overtake that Sam Fowler wanted on Max Tad. He moves now up into 3rd place. That was a very brave mover on a very fast corner. Not one that you can overtake really in a full-size car, but in a kart, who knows? In real life, maybe that is a possible braking position. Back here at the lead, these two absolutely neck and neck, side by side in these early stages of the race. Liam Morley, Daniel Fletcher, as they battle for that lead. Daniel is the fastest of the two. He's got the fastest lap at the moment. He's... No, I think Max Tad has got the fastest time now. 43.723 is your fastest driver in 4th place at the moment. But these guys squabbling so much that the 3rd and 4th place guys have managed to close up. And Sam Fowler looking to the inside of Daniel Fletcher now through the penultimate corner. Is he going to get that move done through the final corner? Again, very fast, easy to run wide here. But again, because these karts are so small, they can get around these corners side by side, no problems at all across the line. And it's still Daniel Fletcher who's holding on to that one. Had a bit of a better exit, but then under braking. Here comes Sam Fowler. Can he make a move this time? Yes, he can. A huge bump there you could see from Daniel Fletcher there as they went into turn 1. Hit that bump and massively unsettled the kart. Sam Fowler now in 2nd place.
I think these top 4 really need to be a bit more careful about battling, because this is really playing into the hands of Alan Dove and Jack Dex behind. Jack Bird has a few more seconds back, but if it carries on this way, I think that they're going to ruin their tyres, and towards the end of the race, it will be a big battle for the top 6 or 7.
Yeah, you would have thought so. I believe we are looking at Alan Dove here. He is in 5th place, as you can see, just out of sight. Jack Dex just behind him as well. But these 4 giving us a very, very close battle here at the front. Absolutely nose to tail between these two. Nothing between them in terms of lap times. They're all running on pretty much the same pace. And again, Sam Fowler, look at that just behind. Max Tad down the inside of Daniel Fletcher, clips the front nose of his kart, just manages to keep it in check and gets in front as these two battle hard for that final spot on the podium. Just over 10 minutes left on the clock. If it's 10 minutes of this, I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up, Will.
Max Tad's going to get a great exit here. He really took a line that allowed him to get on the Parelli. So I think going along the main straight, I think Max Tad is definitely going to have a chance of overtaking Daniel Fletcher, and even perhaps slipstreaming closer to Sam Fowler and Liam Morley there. So here we go.
Here we go. Fowler on Morley. Yep, on the start-finish line into turn 1. Morley takes the lead across the line, holds it through turn 1. Beautiful send down the inside. That's how you do it, and that's that slipstream taking into effect there, Will.
That's right, yeah. I think we'll have a change for position each and every lap, actually. These drivers really look so evenly matched. There's someone that keeps locking their tyres up. I think if they carry on like that, that could cause them a bit of pain towards the end of the race. But it's so close here that Racecraft probably... Okay, we're on board with Alan Dove here, and you can see how close those 4 drivers are ahead. Just one mistake from that main group, and I think Alan's going to be right with them. I'm sure Alan's smart enough to... Go on, DJ.
Oh, you saw it there. Max Tad, he had that rear wheel on that grass there through that very fast corner. If he'd had any more of that, that would have been a huge disaster at such a high speed. And manages to hold on to that one. But you can see Alan Dove has massively closed up on Max Tad. Max Tad in a lot of pressure here. But this is the battle for second place. Daniel Fletcher and Liam Morley. Fletcher now looking to try and take back that second place position. Just under 9 minutes left on the clock as they go through this very tight, twisty section. Again, looks like he's got a good exit here. Is he going to get a good run on the start-finish straight? I think he will.
You can just see that kart is like an air brake for whoever's behind, isn't it? It's just a big cutting a hole in the air, and I think Daniel Fletcher's definitely going to be past Liam Morley. So that's the 2 times in 2 laps that Liam Morley has dropped a place along the main straight. Or has he?
I don't think
he's
he
locked
has
up again.
Well.
There we go. He's locked up again.
Yep, locking up under braking. He's going to be turning those tyres into 50p's in no time. A new fastest lap of the race, though. Sam Fowler, he has done a 1:36.155. So those other lap times I was telling you are completely false because they were sector times. There we go. Oh, who was that off in the background? So Alan's managed to get past Max Tad. I did see a car off in the background there. I think was that actually Max Tad because he's gone past a couple of them. Oh, who was that's just gone off as well? That was Liam Morley.
Liam, yeah, Liam's off. God, yeah. What happened to him?
Yep, Liam
Sorry,
Morley.
DJ,
he's down.
I was talking to you, but I was on mute. So.
Excellent. There you go. Liam Morley, I think, then, who's had that disaster. He's dropped down now to 6th place. Huge disaster for him as he was running within the top 4. So Sam Fowler leading the way from Daniel Fletcher. Then it's Alan Dove in 3rd place. He's managed to close that gap. Jack Dex in 4th place. But the most important thing we need to know is that Jack Bird is in the pit lane. Jack, I'll have you simulator. Thank you very much.
Well, it has been a pleasure working with you, DJ. And I look forward to see how you get on.
Yeah, it'll be Jack Bird in the comms box next week. There we go. Just under 7 minutes left on the clock. Sam Fowler again punching in those fastest laps. He's just set a new fastest lap now of the race, 1:36.114, and he's some 0.5 of a second faster than the man in 2nd place, Daniel Fletcher. So Sam Fowler absolutely flying around this circuit.
And I think it just shows that Sam was really biding his time and saving his tyres to launch that attack on Daniel Fletcher right near the end, because now Sam is ahead. He's just driving away, isn't he? It'd be really interesting to see if Daniel can get it back together and launch an attack, but because Daniel has been kind of the class of the field for practice so far, Alan has told me. So if he can pull something out of the bag, then that'll be another incredible end to the race. But to be honest, now my money is on Sam.
Yeah, I think Sam's been a class act in this one, proving himself around this difficult circuit and long circuit as well. It's not a short circuit, the Zandvoort GP track. You know, the fact that they race cars and Formula One was going to head here as well. You know, even though these karts are quick and they can get round in a quick time, it just feels like such a long circuit for such a small kart, doesn't it? Have you muted yourself again, Will?
There we go. So, Mr. Director, we have Max Tadden. It's as though you can hear me, Mr. Director, even though I am on mute, because I was just asking you to see this battle between Max Tad and Liam Morley, 2 great drivers who have had a slightly unlucky here, but yeah, they're nose to tail.
Oh, and that's someone off in the kitty litter there at the final corner. I'm not sure. That could have been Andy Connell. He's 1 lap down now. That would make sense. But here's a move. Max Tad on the inside of Liam Morley through to turn 1.
Textbook
and Max Tad gets that done. Very textbook move there. A slight lock-up again from Morley as he tries to fight back now through turns 2 and 3. Is he going to try and fight back quickly? remains to be seen. He's around the outside here. Is he going to try and get the switch back as they go up the hill? No, he's going to try and do it all the way around the outside. He's taken the long way round, and it's not worked for him. Max Tad holding on to that 5th place position.
So it looks like it's closing up at the front as well. We've got 2 battles. It's hard to know what to watch, because we've now got Daniel Fletcher only a second from Sam Fowler, and we've got Max Tad and Liam Morley separated by 0.2. So we've got some incredible battles these time, and a lot
You
less
say that,
DNFs.
I think Jack Dex just up ahead in the yellow cart. I believe he had just made a mistake. He was less than a second behind Alan Dove for the battle for 3rd. But now that gap's opened up to 6 seconds, and he's absolutely been left behind. And I did just hear out the corner of my headphones a car pulling away, and I think he thought he got away with that one. He wasn't on the string, but I think we just caught the tail end of it.
I think that's right, yeah. 15 minutes, it goes so quickly, doesn't it? These races really are action-packed.
Right, they are, and yeah, like I say, you have 3 minutes left on the clock. I don't know where that went, and there's that cart still smoking in the background there. Here's a little further back on the grid. This is Steve Calvert and Matthew Tipping, 8th and 9th place on the grid as they head round now the final corner. They're going to be starting lap 8 in just a moment. Again, great battle from these two. A little further up, Daniel Amore and Liam Morley. Big lock up there from Morley. He seems to be struggling.
I think he's locked up every lap there, DJ, hasn't he? There's always a plume of smoke coming out from those tyres. Definitely going to be 50Ps, as you say, or even 20Ps. They've got more sides, haven't they?
Yeah, no, I think you're right in saying that, yeah. But it's going to be an absolute nightmare for those tyres. It's going to be vibrations all the way through the wheel, and of course on a circuit that's already bumpy as ever, to then get lock-ups and flat spots on your tyres, it's going to be an absolute nightmare for Liam Morley. He's probably going to be struggling hugely around this track. And there's a huge mistake there. That's Max Tad, I believe. Max Tad, It is indeed. He's gone straight off the circuit all by himself, and at such a fast part of the circuit as well.
So Max has had a tad of a disaster there.
Oh dear.
I thought you'd be the first for a terrible pun, DJ. I thought you'd be the first to.
No, I stay professional as ever. You were the first there. But yeah, huge shame for Max Tad. Straight away down there now in 7th place, 20 seconds off the lead. Huge shame. And it just shows you how quick it can all go wrong in these karts.
That's it. You just drop a wheel off on the exit or hit a curb slightly too hard and it spins you round. So really, yeah, I think it just shows the skill of these front drivers to be able to race so competitively, so closely, and to not chuck it off into the scenery.
Yeah, exactly that. So, you know, with just over a minute left, to do it in such a, so late on into the race, you know, it must be soul destroying to do it. But, you know, it's you've got to keep your head up high. It's a massive effort. And, you know, the fact that we're still in the race, 8th place now for Max Tad, you know, it's still it's a huge effort from him. Back at the front, though, Sam Fowler, Daniel Fletcher. That gap's now opened up to 1.5 seconds. So you say it was closing up earlier. Sam Fowler has pulled the pin and has opened that gap up hugely.
So I want to share a bit of information on 10th place, Oisin Sharkey. He is actually a DJ, although I don't think that is a surprise with a name like that. That's probably one of the most DJ names that I've heard, Oisin Sharkey. He doesn't even need to make good music to get a number one with a name like that.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people DJ before, and it looks quite tricky, I have to say. But I suspect there's a lot of skill that you would do in that in terms of racing as well. You know, with lots of skill within what you have to do in a quick pace. You know, with changing music and everything like that. You know, quick pace on the racetrack, quick pace on the music as well. So you can see how there would be some skills transforming over.
So who do we have here? Matthew Tipping and Max Tad still battling away.
Yep, 7th and 8th place. 3/10 between these two, but 25 odd seconds from the race lead up. 10 seconds on the clock. And I believe Sam Fowler, our race leader, is across the line. He is. So this is final lap time, and that gap is still 1.5 seconds. So it doesn't look like Daniel Fletcher has got enough in the tank to close that gap. I saw the comment section earlier. People were questioning, were you actually running soft tyres in that one? And they said, no, it was hard tyres all the way. Soft tyres just completely destroy themselves after 5 or so laps, so these guys are all on the hard compound of tyre. That seems to be the way forward on this one. Again, a few retirements in this one, only 6 this time, instead of 7 this time, not the 8 that we had last time. Still 11 drivers out on the circuit, but with the timer clocking over to 0, this is the last lap then for Sam Fowler. Final couple of corners to go, and it seems to be Sam Fowler all on his own here, Will.
That's right, yeah, unless there's a big mistake, which could happen knowing this track. I think Sam's...
Commentator's scarce there, Will, well done.
Yeah, there we go.
But with the final corner to negotiate, though, we go on board with Fowler as he goes through this flat-out corner there, 120 miles an hour, 5th gear, as he goes up the revs across the line, and he's going to take the race to win here at Zandvoort. It's a huge victory for Sam Fowler in the first round of the Karting1 Superkart Championship. And again, a huge well done to all the drivers taking part on this one, because I know that these karts on here are incredibly difficult to drive and to handle, and these guys have proved hugely. Here's the battle further back, 8th and 9th place. It's still close between Steve Calvert and Matthew Tipping. It's almost side by side across the line. Is Steve going to get the run here? It doesn't look like he's got the pace. Matthew Tipping takes 8th place, and there's a contact across the line. And then they go back to the pit lane. Wow, those guys all the way to the end of the track, giving all of it their effort there. But what a fantastic race between those guys.
Oh, it's been brilliant throughout the whole field. I think this track has really lended itself to great racing with the long straights and corners that are designed for these karts. Next race on the 6th of June, we've got Donington, the full circuit, which again I think will be fantastic, seeing them go around the craners, being able to lunge each other into the old hairpin. So really some excellent choices Alan has made for this championship.
Yeah, Donington, personal favourite of mine on the calendar, so very much looking forward to that one. Down the cranny curves and the old hairpin, it's going to be, well, if they tried 5 aside there, I think that's going to end in a massive carnage. But yeah, it's been an epic couple of races on here. Will, any highlights for you on this one?
I think that first race was just brilliant. Seeing how the front two, yeah, I think that's been excellent. Alan and Jack coming through the field so well. I expected that, but it was really exciting to watch them. What about you, DJ?
Highlights for me, definitely, of course, right you are there on the battle for first place in round 1, the very, very close battle. The race start from round 1 again. How do you crash on a start-finish line? That's how you do it. Race 2, Alan Dove crashing before the race had even started. Again, top tip on that one. The battle, the 4 karts at the beginning of race 2 as well. Fantastic to see so many battling against each other. We had a great bit of action from those guys, and a lot of highlights from this one. But it's just all of round 1 been fantastic, and I can't wait for round 2.
Yeah, me neither. I think we've got some great drivers, and competitive and fair on the whole. I'd say there was no malicious moves or firing off or anything. So it's been really, really great.
Yeah, it has indeed. And of course, if you guys have enjoyed it at home, please give the stream a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, of course, to Alpha Live Karting1. This next time around, round 2 at Donington, is going to be very much exciting. But I think we are going to end it there. Well, again, thank you very much for joining me, Anthony Jordan. Will, again, thank you very much for joining me in the comments box. It's been great to have you. It's your first time on commentary, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah, I think I've joined you in the commentary box when I was racing myself, just to say some inappropriate things. So it's been fun to work with you, and thank you for joining, everyone. It's been brilliant. I hope to see you all at the next race.
Yeah, me too. Well, again, from us here and from Karting1 and Alpha Live, we'll see you later.